Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me again. My name is Uche. Thank you for tuning in. So guys, there's very sad, very unfortunate story I heard over the weekend and I thought to share with you. I because it has to do with parents and children. I think I just feel I have to come here, to lend my voice. See, as a parent of this Gen Z generation, I feel like sometimes we parents we tend to overlook certain things. We fail to understand that times have changed. The things we used to do freely during our own time, we have to be careful not to do them now because our times have changed. See, parenting is one thing I've always known since I became a parent, and my children, are growing. I have a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old. So with as they are growing, I've come to understand that parenting is more not complex, is more vast than we imagine. Just like marriage. Marriage is learning as you go. The same thing with parenting. When I had my fourth child, it was when I was discussing with my husband. I said, no wonder there was something that happened. We now said, no wonder these white people sometimes they prefer to have two children. It's not necessarily because of finance, because the more children you have, the more responsibility, not responsibility based only on money, because children, they have their different personality. You haven't imagine you have to put this person's personality when you want to talk to him, when you want to do something for him. The way you talk to this person might be different the way you talk to this person. There's an Igbo adage that said ofuchi ofunnemon man ofuchi kere. As their faces, they have similarities in their faces, they have differences in their faces. That is their how their approach is. Do you know that apart from financial, you have to, feel the emotional needs of your children? You are one person. Then if you want to do this parenting of a thing well, you have to help your child both financially, emotionally, academically, and above all, spiritually. You have to follow it up. Imagine you as one person knowing that you need to do all these things. So, and my level of, the more my children grow and understanding this thing, I have understood that parenting is complex. Do you know what I do? I follow people that are ahead of me, the people that I have seen the seed of their parenting, like I have seen their children. It depends on what the kind of child we want to raise. There was a day I was discussing with one of my friends. We were discussing, I told her the kind of children I want to raise. Not yeah, children that are responsible and all that, but there are more to what the kind of children I want to raise. Do you understand? There are virtues you want your children to have. There are children that you see parents, their children are successful, but they are not kind. They are not kind. You have to bring some certain virtue in your children. Not one. Imagine if you have 5 children, you have to, distribute these things. The way you display or the way you make this one understand about kindness and the way you discuss this person about, they are different. They are differences. So because of that, do you understand? You have a very massive role to play in the lives of your children. So you have to be a present parent. That if you want to do this parenting very well. Back to what I'm saying. I follow people that have done this parenting of a thing before me. And I have seen the seed. I read books on parenting. I listen to teachings on parenting. That is people that have seen evidence. I tell God, because the Bible said it is only God that will teach our children. So it is spiritually, you have to follow them up. Now back to the story, why I'm saying all this historia. There was a story that I heard last 2 weekends. This innocent 8-year-old girl that went on a summer holiday at her grandmother's. Then her 12-year-old cousin as well went, for a vacation, summer vacation at her grandmother's as well. So during the day, from the story I heard, During the day, they had a misunderstanding over an iPhone. Do you know that this 8-year-old girl in the night went and slept innocently? But do you know that this 12-year-old had this grudge in her heart? The 8-year-old girl, I heard it was a bunk. The grandmother kept for them in their room, a bunk. The 8-year-old girl slept. This 12-year-old child, because she's a baby, she made sure that her 8-year-old cousin had gone to bed. Maybe she pretended as if she also had gone to bed. She went and snuffed life. She used bedding. You can Google it. You will see it on YouTube everywhere. She used beddings and suffocated her cousin. Then when I was listening to the story, the normal reaction I expected from the girl was to be scared. Call somebody, an adult, and say, I don't know what I did. But no, she didn't do that. From the camera, the grandmother told them that there was a camera in the room. Then they checked the camera. This girl, after suffocating, killing her 8-year-old cousin, she had the mind, entered the bathroom, took rag, tissue, cleaned up the cousin, laid her well, like somebody that is sleeping. This girl went to her own bed and slept till the following day. She was not scared. When I listened to other ones. What I asked myself, how did we get here? How did we get here? So I said that I need to come here and parents, we need to do better. When I was reading some of the comments, people attributed the whole thing to internet. At the end of the day, internet. Parents also have a big role to play. Is it not the parents that left the internet for the child? See, call me archaic, call me outdated parent. You see me, unapologetically no to sleepovers. Me. Because I understand what is going on now. You see, let me give you an example. There was a time somebody was driving me to somewhere. The person was speeding up. I was like, be careful the way you're driving. This person told me, do you know how many years I've been driving? I've never had accident. I'm always very careful. What I told the person, you might be very careful, 100%. I can trust your driving, but you're not the only person driving on this road. A drunk person can come, and jam you. That will cause accident. Somebody that doesn't even have a driving license that you don't know. Because a lot of people are driving on this road, you have to be very attentive. You know yourself, you don't know the next person. My point is this. You know the kind of movies you don't want your child to watch in your house. What about the person your child is going to sleep in their house? Sleepover knee, sleepover call. I don't know about you. But for me, to a certain stage, I'm very protective of my children. I know some people say it's not being protective, you have to release them. I release them. Like I allow my children to go out and I give them time to come in. But you see sleepover, there are things a child will go through, will see during sleepover. The child might not tell you, and that thing might change the life of that child forever. Maybe if God have mercy, or God, by the grace of God, maybe the child grows up, that is when the child will now start recalling. There are a lot of people I know during our own time. They were raped and they were not able to say it until they grew up. And maybe that formed a certain thing in their life that people will not understand. Do you understand? Maybe perhaps this 12-year-old child, nobody knew where she learned it from. So as parents, we have to be very careful. I heard, was it Apostle Lazarus, a Nigerian pastor, that said as long as parenting is concerned, that everybody around you is a suspect. And I understand that a suspect as being careful in general. At some point, there's a level the brain of a child will form. At least to 18 years, you have to be very protective of your child. Know the kind of friends your child keep. Don't just allow your child to go to the street and say, I'm leaving him to explore, I'm leaving her to explore. There are things your child... I heard a man that said, because of a friend that a child will keep, he wouldn't mind relocating from the city that he is. Like if he tries to separate his son or his daughter from a friend or a particular group of people and they refuse, that he doesn't mind relocating from that place, because he has seen growing up that a lot of people, that friendship ruined their lives. So there are people that maybe the kind of friends their children keep doesn't matter. If it matters to you, then you have to be careful how you release your children out there. Do you know that this thing that happened, no matter what happens, the two families, even though they are related by blood, that family can never be the same just because of a particular child? Only God knows. Only God in heaven knows what came over that girl. And I also want to tell parents, even as adults, there are some movies you don't watch with your children. There are some movies you do not watch with your children. Be careful. This generation is wild. Let us say it as it is. This generation is wild. I remember somebody said, I saw it somewhere. Somebody said a story of the child coming back from school, and the child showed the mother a candy that they were sharing in school. A child brought the candy and they were sharing it in school. But the daughter or the son of this person, suspected. She was like, why are they sharing it under the desk? Why are they not sharing it where, the teacher will see it? Why were they sharing the candy, under the desk? Only for them to discover later, the candy has a kind of drug, whatever inside. So this child was sharing candy. So it's because of the upbringing this woman's child had. She took her own candy and brought it home. These are some of the things we have to imbibe in our children. We have to be careful. We will not remove the prayer factor. No matter how careful you seem to be, please let us indulge our children. Let us indulge our children in spiritual activities. It might not seem like it. This is one aspect of my life. One of the things that has molded me. So because we are in the Gen Z generation, I won't act like I don't know the impact of that in my life. I know they will go out. I know that somehow maybe they will make mistakes. But I know I am intentional because I know what that did to me. That my mother then indulged us in prayer didn't stop us from making one or two mistakes, but it helped us. I remember in those days when they would tell us to come and pray, how sometimes we argue self, that sometimes we have a misunderstanding. I'm feeling sleepy. Now that all of us are grown up, we know the benefit of that we avoided. Those things that we avoided, those prayers we didn't want to pray, we are the ones that are. So I know what that has done to me. So I want to encourage parents. It's by strength shall no man prevail. You will do your bid as a parent, but don't forget the spiritual aspect. Don't overlook the spiritual aspect of life, because in this life, there's something is governing something. Nobody know the spirit that possesses this, because I don't want to believe that this thing is a normal thing. I don't want to believe that it's only internet. It's not only what that girl. It's because even as an adult, when something like that happens, so if somebody kills somebody for the first time, you will be scared. But a 12-year-old will know what occurring now. A 12-year-old is still a small girl. How she had the heart to knowing that the child is dead, the cousin is dead, was very comfortable, brought something without fear, cleaned her face, laid her well, God forbid, and slept. How did we get here? I can go on and on, but I want to urge parents, let us be too intentional. Anything for parenting, anything you can give up for this parenting, please do it. The world, this generation is crazy right now. Anything you can do, anything or anywhere anybody wants you to take your child, if your spirit does not take it, biko, Kali, say no. Because I've heard cases of people that their child wanted to go somewhere, their mind did not take it because they didn't want to offend the child, or they didn't want to offend the parents. They allowed the child to go. At the end of the day, something happened. It wasn't the child that was supposed to die. The child went to save somebody that was dying. At the end of the day, the child drowned. So as parents, be intentional about what you think and how you raise your child. And be careful who and where and what your children, who your children mix up with. And I want to say this thing just occurred to me. Thank you. Watch the kind of little attitudes children have. All those children, when you take maybe your phone from them and they're aggressive, try to calm it down. Because if you keep permitting it, it will grow. There are little attributes you see in a child. You find a child lying on unnecessary. You say it's a child, you will overgrow it. No, you will not overgrow it though. They will grow with it. Because I have seen people that have little tom attitudes. Now that they've grown, you will still notice those kind of attitudes. It will just magnify. But parents didn't pin it down as children. They didn't pin that out. So if you notice some of these aggressive natures in your children, pin it down. Before even they get to 10, pin it down. If you need prayer and fasting, do it before they grow. This is a wake-up call for parents. Please, let us be different. Let us raise our children and let us not be victims. That's one of the things I want to. It doesn't matter if it's family or not. Be careful who your children go out with. It might not be, let our children not die the death they are not supposed to die. Let them not die on unfortunate death. Let them not enter prison for the crime they did not commit. That you have children that are quiet, children that are good, that are so kind. Be careful so that people don't take them for granted. Put in those words of affirmation in your children so that they know that they are able, so that people don't take them for granted. That is why I say parenting is very vast. Let us take note of these things. Life there is very wild. Your children going out, especially people that live abroad. I'm tired of hearing leave them. They are the children of nowadays. No, your children are not children of nowadays. Leave them. Their children are abroad children. No, your children are not abroad children. They are the children God has given to you. The Bible said they are for signs and they are for wonders. So it is left for you to know how to bring them. The Bible says raise up your child in a way he should go, not the way generation wants them to go. Do you understand? So this is a wake-up call for me and for anybody listening to me. I pray God will help us, because it took me days to recover from this story that I heard. I don't know if you've heard it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And I will see you very soon in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.